Ravenna Royal Hall, getting ready to see Stephenie Meyer. It's quite a crowd. Just a couple men here and there.
There's a chihuly.
There is a gorgeous chihuly right above our heads. And here we go. So we're a little concerned by the strange bum. So this is unbelievable. Look at this. Jackie Parker, Reader Girls, Poster Girl, is out there somewhere. Jackie, where are you? Jackie, wave! How awesome is this? Reader Girls TV, woo!
So here we are, like totally jamming. We're rocking out, waiting for Stephenie. We still have not spotted Jackie. We have no idea where she is. But this is like amazingly fantastic. Can you feel the energy?
Quick informal poll. Who brought their copy of Breaking Dawn here tonight?
First of all, I'd like to thank Stephenie Meyer. This is our last night of the tour, and this has been just an amazing experience. I've got to meet so many beautiful new people. And just like I'm meeting some of you right now, I thank y'all so much for being here, and thank you for not throwing things at me. And I just really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys very much. But I'm shown to your cage to wage this rage. Don't let me go. And a kick and a scream is all it seems to me. Thus far, but I won't let you on my stage, my page, 'cause you can't know, but you have to know that I only want you to see my favorite part of me, and not my ugly side. Not my ugly side.
It's good to start out with what my plans are as of right now. And first of all, obviously, I need to go work on Midnight Sun and get that finished. But before I get back to, vampires or even the host, which has kind of been calling to me lately, there's a lot of other characters that are just dying for their chance. It's kind of a funny place inside my head. There's a lot of people there, and they're always jockeying for time. And so there's a couple of stories I'm really excited about right now. So I think the next thing will probably be a ghost story, and then we'll kind of see what goes from there. Then we have New Moon, a very lovely ruffled tulip that actually has no meaning at all. This was before I got to veto covers I didn't like. And so that one was just somebody at the company thought that was a really cool color scheme. I was like, okay, well, whatever. So then we had Eclipse, which I did get to, how about I say. And this is sort of a visible example of what happens when you try and break away from your old life and you don't do it in a clean cut. It gets messy. There are strings you can't break. Bella trying to break away from her life, it got pretty messy for a while there. So this was my visual representation of that. And then we have Breaking Dawn, which I did have a veto on, so this was exactly what I wanted, and I was really happy with the way it turned out. There are two reasons for this cover. In one sense, it is the cover for the entire series, because we have Bella starting out as the weakest player on the board, and then she progresses to when she becomes the most powerful player. And she's really the one that affects the ending of the story. So this was about Bella's progression. Also, in specific for Breaking Dawn, I knew that the end was going to be a mental game. And what game represents a mental game more than chess? So I wanted to foreshadow the end. But that is why the covers are the way they are. This was something that I always knew was going to be that way, and I did try to put a few clues into the manuscript. The mention of the Merchant of Venice was deliberate to foreshadow a battle of the minds rather than a physical battle. I am not the person, I don't think I have it in me to write the Hamlet ending, where like everything's bodies and there's one guy you don't know standing there giving a monologue about how tragic it all was. That is so not me. And I knew that if the fight really got started, that there were not going to be very many people left standing on either side. And that, I wanted a win. I wanted a clear-cut win, and this was the way to do that. It was early for me, because at every point, up until that point in the story, I would say, I can step into the story right here, and I can do everything she can do, which made it really, this experience where you felt like you could be part of the book, because you knew, I could do that. You know, I could do what Bella does. I can trip. So I could relate to her. She wasn't like this super exotic person with magic power. She was just Bella, and I like that. I knew she was going to be a vampire. All along I've known that, by the way. All these people, are you ever going to make her a vampire? And I couldn't just say yeah, but that was wrong. So I knew she was going to be a vampire, and I wanted to experience that and really get the sense of what that felt like. But at the same time, as I'm writing it, I couldn't step into the story anymore, because I couldn't do that. And that made it a little bit harder. So I was kind of sad to see her lose that relatability, because she was a new and exciting Bella, but she wasn't a Bella I could be. And it was a little bit sad for me, but I wanted her to have that ending. It was important to me. So I was happy for her, but we just weren't as close as we had been before. It was a little weird to prolong Bella's story that way, and I didn't want to ruin the story arc. You know, when a story goes the right direction, for me it's very visual and I can see the shape of it. Every book has a different shape, and as a whole, these 4 books, this was the right shape for them. So it was the right place to end, and it doesn't mean that I'm done, because there are a whole lot of stories in my head, but this story just has reached its natural conclusion. I would
Never look behind you, spooky people bring you down. The world is ending, but there's a party by the bay. I'll wear my suit and tie, we're eye to eye and toasting to the way you put that smile upon my face, yeah. Fill up the air balloon and ride with me when hell is jealous of the rain. We'll make love like time and space is ending while befriending fate's alluring way of putting us to shame. And I'm reaching farther than I ever have before, leaving all who broke your heart upon the shore. And I may be some sort of crazy, we may be some sort of crazy, but I swear on everything I have more.
So we were in the right spot to get our book signed first. So we found Jackie! Yay! Hi, Jackie! There she is, ready to sign. So exciting. Okay, so we're done. It's the very end. See how sad we are? But we met Elizabeth Gilbert, the amazing publicist for Stephenie Meyer. It was just as exciting as meeting Stephenie. Okay, so here we go. Bye. Okay. I have to get close so we can see this little guy. It's like, where's Stephenie? Where's Stephenie?